not just a house, you know, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood, and of course part of the community. And you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
You know, without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh my stars. It is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
Hey, my name is Nigel Wright with COE Films, and I'm here to talk about my best friend, my brother, Kevin Miller. For y'all don't know, Kevin and I, we go back a long ways. I've been knowing Kevin for over 30 plus years. We grew up from a small town called West Helena, Arkansas. It's back east. And man, Kevin and I, we used to see each other as kids, even coming all the way on up now, you know, to we're grown-ups. And Kevin and I, we just been just locked in, you know what I mean? We recently had got closer, starting back in 2013, 14, once we migrated up this way. Well, he had migrated up this way. I had a chance to kind of, you know, link with him a little bit more because I was coaching basketball, AAU basketball, and his son was playing, my son was playing, and I was just letting them know, look, man, you know, Arkansas is one of these places that, you know, we have sports and we have basketball, football, but a lot of this is underrated. You know, it's just flying under the radar. So, you know, Kevin, he was one of them guys, had a big heart. If you knew Kevin, I promise you, you can't say a bad thing about Kev. Kev was always willing to help, willing to do things, willing to cut off your water, so to speak, because he was a water guy, you know, and he knew his stuff with water. So he really was one of those guys that can liven up any room, you know. He could also just be one of them guys that can lift your spirits, you know. If you going through something, you talk to Kevin, I guarantee you, by the time you get off the phone with him, you won't even be thinking about it. You know what I mean? He was just one of those people. So, you know, just to fast forward, Kevin was a diamond, y'all. They said Arkansas has diamonds. Kevin was one of those diamonds. The man was a rare diamond. I promise you, you'll never find another like him. You'll never find another like him. You know, Kevin always put people before him. You know, you would never know it because he always was behind the scenes on a lot of things, or you would never know that Kevin had something to do with it, you know. So just to fast forward, it was a time that I can remember very well. It was back in 2020, and Kevin and I, we was talking about doing an open run, and I was telling him, like, man, I done went to Atlanta, Texas, I done went to Florida, I done went to these other states that the exposure was crazy. You know what I mean? That they doing a lot of stuff for the kids to where they getting exposure. And I was telling Kev back then, like, man, it has to be something that we can do to try to help, you know, bridge the gap. And from that point on, and this was during COVID, y'all, we started an open run, and we did it at the Deaf and Blind. We invited over 30 players, 30 plus players, and we invited coaches in there, and it was a success. We saw that, hey man, we on to something right here. So we did another open run, and that turned out to be an amazing moment. From there, it sparked the interest. It started sparking things. And from there, we just kind of kept the momentum rolling. We went from that to just, if you saw Kevin, you saw me. We was going to different events, trying to highlight, different players. We interacting with different media outlets throughout the state. And shout out to all the media outlets that's out there. Man, y'all do an amazing job helping keeping Kevin memory alive. Shout out to y'all. But we was talking about how could we help bridge the gap. We talking about the matchup showcase. I mean, we was bouncing ideas off each other, trying to put some things in play. I mean, we always was on the phone trying to see what was our next play, what was our next play. And from there, I saw the spark, interest. Kevin had mentioned something about the media day. He was like, man, I saw something, about the media day in a different state. He was like, what you think about that? I said, man, I think that'd be awesome. And from there, it kick-started. And we was rolling. The first media day turned out to be a success. It was a success in our own right because of what we wanted it to be. And, linking up with Kyle, Eric Taylor, Chris with Arkansas Pro Sports, and now Natural State Sports, this thing has become bigger, and I think it's becoming better every year. I'm looking forward to this media day that's coming up. You have over like 70 teams coming in that I feel like this year is going to set the president for the next years. You know what I mean? So, man, just remember my guy Kev every day is just always bring a smile to my face. Just talking with his family and with his wife and kids, it always brings joy to just remember him. And I think this Big Miller Media Days, the matchup showcase, the football media days, keeping his name alive. I think it's something that will always help everyone to remember what Kev is all about. Shout out to all the media guys, the sponsors, everybody that's helped putting this Big Miller Media Day together. Salute. 2 of Vic Miller Basketball Media Days. Up first, we have the Whitehall Bulldogs with head coach Trey Lennox. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Man, we're doing good, Coach. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you brought with you.
Like you said, I'm Trey Lennox. I'm the new head basketball coach at Whitehall High School. I'm going to start off here to my right. I got junior Corey Hope, junior Tristan Dunlap, another junior Marcus Murray Jr., and my senior over here, Mason Elkins.
Coach, with it being new and the new faces and the new community, talk about the challenges that you're facing coming into this season.
It's been rough for some of these kids dealing with what they had to go through. Not to speak too much on it, but just dealing with the death of Coach Matt and trying to navigate their emotions and just the new coaching staff for the 3rd year in a row for some of these kids. It's an adjustment because I know I'm probably one of the hardest coaches to play for, but I try my best to keep them upbeat, check on them as much as I can. Just trying to keep them engaged and keep them involved in the community, keep them involved in their school and basketball, just keep them upbeat as much as I can. Another one of the challenges is just helping them adjust to me. I don't know how many people have been a part of coaching changes and just staff changes as well, but it's different with me. I'm trying to change their mindset as much as I can, and so far I'll say they're handling things more than most kids would right now, and I think they're doing a great job as far as how they've handled just their trials and tribulations moving forward.
Coach, for all the fans and all the Whitehall community, could you tell them what type of coach you are and your mentality, your approach towards the game?
I'm very hard-nosed. I'm young, but I'm very old school. It's ironic that he's in here. I've grown up watching coaches like Coach Coop and even played against him. Got to see him in close corners multiple times, just seeing how he is always on top of his players and demands the best from his players, and not just Coach Coop, but a multitude of other coaches who are just real hard-nosed and very passionate about what they do. And a lot of people mistake it for anger. I see it as passion and just us wanting the best out of our kids and just having a high standard and high expectations no matter what's going on, because I try to teach them everything's not always going to be perfect. I don't want them to be front runners. A lot of people think it's easy when you're winning, but what you going to do when you get knocked down? What are you going to do when you lose? So I'm going to be hard-nosed. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to yell. I'm going to scream. I'm going to be hard on you, because when you get out in the real world, nobody's going to take it easy on you, and that's what I'm trying to prepare them for. Yes, basketball is a great way to teach life lessons, but I don't want them to just be basketball players. I want them to grow up, be great men, and hopefully impact others someday. And if that leads them into basketball further on, they'll be prepared for any coach once they get done dealing with me.
So to the players, like Coach said, there have been some coaches changes, there have been some things happening. What have you guys done to rally around each other? What's some of those things to keep the camaraderie together?
I think Coach do a good job in putting brotherhood first throughout this whole time, him being here throughout the summer. He just been programming us to be brothers, take up for one another, and just be passionate about the family that we got, because at the end of the day, if nobody else believes in us, we got us.
Yeah, just like Corey said, really, Coach been preaching brotherhood, putting stuff together for us, helping us be around each other a lot.
Just pick back off what Corey and Tristan said. Coach really helping us really bad.
Really what they said. I wasn't here for Coach Matt, but yeah, I know other people are struggling from it, so I'm just here for them.
Okay, so, this season, obviously you're going to face some challenges. What's some of the things that you've done off season to prepare you coming up for this season?
I'll say mentality. Like, throughout the whole summer, I wasn't here throughout the whole summer. Not gonna get into detail with that, but it's just been mentality for me. Facing through every challenge and trials and tribulations that we've been through. Just ready to work. That's the mentality that we got.
Yeah, I think Coach has putting us like mentally strong, getting us mentally strong, because we go through hard stuff every day at practice. So like he making sure we're mentally strong, prepared for everything.
Just been in the gym working the whole summer.
Mentally, but like weight room also. We're always there in the weight room every day.
Coach, I see you brought the leaders with you, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
What are the other players that you probably want to showcase, you want to shed some light on that's not here today?
We have a great team as far as I'm concerned. I feel like we have every single piece we need in order to compete and put us in the best position to win basketball games and get as far as we want to get. We got kids like Aiden Stith, he's one of my 10th graders. I probably don't tell them enough how much I appreciate them being leaders and how much what they do means to me. But kids like Aiden Stith, they look up to them and they can piggyback off of what they see these guys do and just carry that forward when they're here afterwards. And I know I keep mentioning Aiden Stith. He's great when it comes to communication. He always makes us laugh, always keeps the energy high in practice. Other kids like Jackson Turner, he's another one of my 10th graders. They're really young, but I'm trying to get it early on to where they learn how to lead. They learn how to be at the forefront of a team to where you can be the guy that these kids follow behind when you get in their position. People will follow behind you because they see you working hard. They see you buying into what we're teaching as a coaching staff and as a team and as a brotherhood. Trying to think. Another kid, Ariane Bateman, he's another one of my juniors. He's very quiet, more behind the scenes. He's probably the smallest player I got. And no offense to any of these guys here, he is most likely my favorite player. For him, I try to preach to him, for you to be the smallest kid on the team, you're going to be everybody's favorite player to watch in the stands because you'll be somebody that they can relate to. You're not the biggest, you're not the strongest. He might be one of the quickest guards I've ever seen. And once I get his confidence up to where he is more vocal and he can talk and he can see what he can do on the basketball court, I feel like we're going to be a team forced to reckon with whenever we see all these other teams that we have to face up against. So those are just a couple guys to name and not leaving anybody out, but I feel like we have every single piece we need in order to compete.
You know, Coach, I'm assuming you probably didn't have a whole lot to do with scheduling your non-conference games. But even coming off a season that I realized wasn't up to par with where you guys want to be. With where you guys want to be, you know, it appears that starting off, you guys, you know, several away games where you're really going to get tested, especially teams that went a long ways last year, like at Morrilton. Can you talk about that non-conference schedule and how you're getting your guys ready to really go, you know, start right off the bat, you know, jumping into the fire?
Just kind of piggybacking off what they've kind of told you all, I try my best to put them in some type of adversity, some type of challenge every single day. I'm not going to make it easy on them because I know the road ahead isn't easy. Winning the state championship isn't easy, and of course that's everybody's goal. But like I said, I'm trying to mold young minds and mold young men. Just putting them in the position to face some type of adversity every day, I think that's just what we need to get ready for this off-season or non-conference schedule. I'm not as well versed or as well. I don't know as much about these teams that we're going to play, so I do have to do more research on that and watch more film, and I have to do my part in that aspect. But I feel like just getting them mentally prepared for whatever comes and being ready for any situation, I think we're headed in the right direction when it comes to that aspect of it.
And to the players, what's some of y'all goals and expectations for the season?
Some of my goals for the season is just, man, I just want to win, man. I have yet to be a part of a winning team, like where I am looked at as a leader of the team. I have yet to be a part of something like that. So my goals for this season is just to win and just keep going.
And my goal is to win, be a leader, you know, lead my team, help my team win. You know, that's it.
My goals is to win, be a leader, make all conference, and just go to the state.
My goal is, you know, win, but like get physically and mentally stronger also while we're doing it.
Coach, what's your coaching style? What's your philosophy? You know.
I like to pick up full court. Like I said, I'm old school. I'm a 40 minutes of hell type of guy, but I also like to adapt. I like to adjust. However the game is going, I want to put them in the best position to win. So if it calls for us going to a different zone or going to a triangle 2 or boxing 1, whatever whatever situation comes at hand, like I want them to be prepared for it. So like I said, I try to put them in as many uncomfortable positions as possible. I want them to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I want them to be prepared to run any type of defense. I like them to be prepared to, if they do continue their basketball career, they can go play for anybody and adjust to any system. Just being knowledgeable in any type of defense or any type of offense. Offensively, I don't want you to be able to focus on just one guy. I like to move the ball, but at the same time, if somebody's hot, we're going to try to find them as much as we can. I feel like we have enough people to where at any given moment, anybody can get hot, whether it be on the defensive end or on the offensive end. But if we can score off of our defense, that's what we're going to try to do. We don't want you to have any type of fun. We don't want you to have any type of rhythm whenever you play us. We want to make it hard for you. Whether we win or lose, you're going to feel it at the end of the day. And that's what I'm trying to preach to them as far as being the hardest playing team on the court. Not just on the court. I want to take it even further in the state of Arkansas, in the country, in the world. Like, it don't matter to me. I want them to be the hardest playing team when we step on that court.
So, for the players, talk about how important it is for basketball to be in your life at this moment.
Originally, I'm not from here. I'm from Texas, but seeing the environment down there where we are, it is not something I want to be a part of. Basketball is a great outlet for any kid. Football is as well, but basketball has really built my mindset over the last 3 years. It just made me a better person in real life, and it teaches me a lot of life skills to take into the real world.
Yeah, basketball is important with building a mindset. Like, helps me think about stuff on and off the court. Like, on the court, I might be doing bad, but off the court, I'm doing good. So, like, if I'm doing good off the court, when I get on the court, it'll, like, help me. So basketball it helps everything.
To be honest, basketball is all I got. That's how I make my friends and stuff. So that's what it is.
Basketball really, it just takes me out of place to where like I can set my mind on doing basketball. Like, keeps me out of trouble a lot, and it's just good knowing that like your teammates, you got your teammate, they got you, and stuff like that.
Coach, considering where your team is at right now, what areas do you see that this team need to improve in, or are they already peaking where you expect them to be right now?
I think we're far from peaking, and just from what I've learned in my short time in coaching, this will be my 6th year being a coach, first year being a head coach. But as much as I've been coaching, I've always heard that no team wants to peak this early. Of course, I'm not satisfied where we are. I don't think I ever will be, and I know I need to change that. But I think they've improved a lot as far as from when I've started there to the point we are now. But like I said, I'm not satisfied. I always want them to get better in every aspect. I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, so we believe in achieving in every field of human endeavor. So I try to push them to achieve beyond basketball, improve in the classrooms, improve off the court. How can you get out in the community and impact somebody? How can you help out at home? How can you impact kids here? What are you doing every day to get better? And it doesn't matter what you're getting better at, what you're competing in. I just want you to compete in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So, of course, I'm not happy with where we're at, but I am happy with the strides they've made. There's no pushback. Whatever I tell them to do is yes, sir, and they keep it pushing. Whether it's a struggle, whether they don't understand it, these kids have been very accepting and very trusting of me and my assistant coach right here, Coach Johnston. And I think that's a credit to their buy-in and just their mentality and how much it's improved. So I will say I'm very happy with what I have right now, but I'm not satisfied. We are not satisfied.
Okay, Coach. Well, y'all have anything? Okay, Coach. Well, that concludes our interview. We appreciate you all coming down. If you have any last words for the Whitehall Nation that's watching, what do you have to say to them?
I'm excited for this opportunity. I know people don't expect a lot out of us, but we aim to win. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I hope we bring a lot of livelihood to the Whitehall community and just make it something that people want to watch. So, yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate
good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Okay, up next we have the state champs. The state champs.
All right.
Mills Comets with head coach Ray Cooper leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. How y'all doing this morning?
They're doing good, man. Doing good. Coach, hey, man, introduce yourself. I'm pretty sure you don't need no introduction, but introduce yourself and who you brought with you.
All right. I'm Raymond Cooper, head coach at Mills High School, and we have Messiah Curry, the senior, Marsha Walls, senior, Vance Cunningham, senior, Anthony Hester, senior.
All seniors and state champs, might I add. Coach, man, heck of a run last season. Talk about the ups and downs all the way into the season. I'm curious.
You know, it was a tough season. You know, you think about winning the championship, but it's always tough. It's ups and downs. It's trials, it's tribulations. It's different, situations you got to work through. Actually, Zaylen Rowland came into my office last year and he said, "Coach, we're gonna go undefeated." He said, "We're not losing the game." And I go, "Yeah, all right, whatever." And we came one short. We lost the game to Benton. A tough, hard-fought game to Benton and became very close. In the championship game, we came out cold. We couldn't hit anything. I mean, it was, and Morrilton was hot. Yeah, well. But they never got rattled. They never got upset. They just stayed the course. And, that was the kind of what that team has been, just kept fighting through adversity. And this team's got a lot of experience from that experience, and I hope that carries into this year.
Coach, my numbers might be a little off, but since 2017, you're like 240 and 48, 4 state championships. How have you gotten Mills to where it's at, and how do you sustain it year in and year out?
Just piggyback off a lot of what Trey said. It's got to be tough. You got to have tough practices to prepare for tough games. Starting with everything. We demand in the class, from the classroom. We demand excellence in the classroom. We demand excellence in the weight room. It's very demanding, and it takes a while for people to get used to that. But what happens over time is the leadership happens, and we have the older guys mentor the younger guys, so they help them. The younger guys struggle a little bit, 9th graders and some 10th graders with it. So it helps to have a lot of upperclassmen, and then once you develop that culture, the upperclassmen kind of foster it for you. And they keep, these guys, they all have jobs. Some of them wash clothes, some of them fold the clothes, some of them clean the gym floor. So we all pitch in together like a family to do all the things together. And the family, everybody's little job is important. And that, I think that carries over to the court too, because everybody's job is on the court important. We play a system where there's no one guy that kind of leads everything. I think last year we probably had 5 or 6 guys that led us in scoring at different times. And, that makes it difficult to play against, because when you scout one guy and stop him, another guy steps up. And so that's kind of what we play, and we preach sharing the basketball and playing hard-nosed defense.
Coach, this time about 3 years ago, you and I were on the phone. I was taking some notes down for a preview, and you told me that this group right here, this senior class, I guess they were freshmen at that time. Mm-hmm. We're going to take as you scheduled, of course, tough as you always do in the non-conference. And you talked about how you're probably going to take your lumps, you're going to have your learning lessons, but when this group is seniors, juniors, seniors, we got a chance to do some special things. I know you're obviously trying to get another ring with them before they go, but just talk about how they've lived up to your expectations, both on and off the court.
It was tough at first. I think some of them, had a little mad at me a little bit at first. But they saw the big picture, and now they've come along, and these guys have become great leaders. And, so far this year, they have really done a great job with practices and moving along practices and making things a whole lot easier. So that hard work, when they were freshmen, we were going to play them early. And I knew early, and we scheduled tough. I try to schedule as tough a schedule non-conference as I can to be tested, because when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have to need that experience of being in those games and those heated games, because that's what's going to happen in the playoffs. So sometimes that backfires, and one year we started out 0-4, but We wound up making it to the state championship game with that. But I think that experience early goes a long way.
And to the players, starting with you, Ant, man, talk about the leadership roles. I heard Coach talking about the leadership. Talk about the roles that you all playing and how the leadership, carried over and fostered to the championship run that you all had.
It carried over well. In practice, we drill it every day to be leaders and to lead by example for the young guys, because at the end of the day, they don't know what to do. And it's on us to lead them and show them the way. So when it's their time, they can be ready. Last year, Zaylen Rowland was undisputedly the leader and great. And I go back and I watch what he did so I can help the young guys that are here now. So it's very important. You're not going to get a championship with no leaders, for sure.
To piggyback off what he said, I agree. As the seniors now, we got to be able to foster and show them the same way that Zay and Jody and all of them did us, So basically, as us being the leaders and we show them the way as well, and they pick up with us, the whole team is there now. We're all ready, and we're ready to take on whatever.
To piggyback off of what Vince and Ed said, as seniors, we got to be better leaders and stuff like that to help the young guys out. Because we've been in the culture for years, so we know kind of more the in and outs than they do for the new guys and transfers and stuff. So we got to be good leaders and helping them out every day.
Going on off of what my other teammates said, especially with this group, we have more leaders than what we had last year. That's gonna be like a bigger accomplishment because we have more leaders, and more leaders is what helped the team come together. Last year we only had one real leader, and it was hard on that one leader, which is Zaylen Rowland. It was kind of hard on him to help us because we didn't know what we was doing for real, but he knew everything to do. But now with this year, we all seniors, we all know what to do, so we can help and come together and help the little bros come up with us so we can build another team. So when we leave, they'll know what to do and help the little bros build the same formation.
This one's for Aunt Hester here. Do you feel any pressure? I mean, you look like at Mills under Coach Coop. There's so many good players that have come through Mills over the last, 10, 15 years or whatever. Yeah, forever. Do you feel any pressure walking the same halls that they walked and walking maybe in their shoes?
Pressure? Nah. The older guys, they come back and they give me game on what I should do and how I should lead the team and how I should go about this year. Like Darius Hall, I call Zaylen Rowland a lot. Quan Marshall, Jeremiah Toney, guys like that. They always come back and give me game. But pressure, nah, it ain't no pressure. It's something I do every day.
I'm going to direct this question to all four of the players, too. We can start right down here. Coach Coop said that he wants to put, adversity on you guys and schedule a really tough non-conference. So, throwing you guys into the fire right off the bat. Your first 5 games at Central, Bryant, Sylvan Hills, at Parkview, and then at Benton, which is your lone blemish from last year. Just talk about those games starting right off the bat and then how much forward you're looking to get back on the court with that one team that gave you that blemish last year.
Honestly, I feel like all of us is ready to get back on the court and go 100%. But honestly, looking forward to those 5 games, all those games is just a regular game to us. It's just we just ready to play so we can play that last game, which is the championship.
To piggyback off what Messiah said, it starts at practice. I feel as if we go and we do our game plan for the practice and we scout correctly, work on our game plan correctly, we should be prepared for any circumstances that happen.
Well, we all love to play in those non-conference games like that when we know the gym going to be live, the energy going to be there. We love those type of games. We're ready for it. We prepare for it every day in practice. But at the end of the day, we know that those are just another game, and we're preparing for something bigger, which is the state championship game. So those non-conference games, we focus on them, but we also keep the bigger picture in mind.
Yeah. Non-conference is always going to be tough for us. It's been like that my 4 years of being here. At the end of the day, it's about getting the championship. So I ain't really got too much to say about that.
And I wanted to take back to the third quarter of the state championship game. Took a very scary fall. There, all of us on media row were incredibly worried about you. Thank God everything was all right. But I know your coaches probably were definitely breathed a sigh of relief, both for your health and the game, but everything. But just kind of talk about, did adrenaline kind of get you through that? Was it extremely painful? Was it not as painful as it looked? Was it adrenaline that led to that, I guess, the fourth quarter surge for you guys to win the game? And how did you feel afterwards once the adrenaline calmed down?
Man, when I feel, it hurt, man. It hurt. I hurt my neck, hurt my wrist, but I knew I couldn't let the team down. I had to get back out there and do something. You know what I'm saying? But when I got back in the game, Coach said, man, you get the ball, shoot it. So I just let it rock.
So, talk about that championship game, guys. I know it was a lot of ups and downs. Coach said, come out cold. You know, it wasn't falling as well. So, talk about that game, you know, of its entirety. Talk about how the camaraderie was, the energy, and overall at the end, once the game subsided and y'all hands was raised.
Well, I say this. That turning point of the game was Vance Cunningham and Messiah Curry, for sure. Like, they completely turned the game around with their defense, and it turned us up completely. I knew for sure that in about the third quarter that they was going to break. You know, that's just what teams do when they play us. But the big turning point of that game was Vance Cunningham and Messiah Curry.
Well, in the state championship game, even though we came out cold and they came out hot, we never once dropped our heads or felt like the game was getting away from us, none like that. Coach Coop prepares us every day, even harder than that in practice for situations like that. So, I mean, we always knew we was going to get back on track, do what we need to do what we work on every day, and come through and take the game home. You know, Coach Coop, he preaches at practice, he gives us the most unfair situations ever, just for that situation. So when we get in there, it's nothing new. We're not surprised, we're not shocked. We was ready for it. And we took hold of the game at that turning point, like he said. We all came together, trusted one another, and we all played a big role and came through and took the game home.
In the championship game, we faced a lot of adversity. You know, we weren't really getting calls, we weren't hitting shots, but we never once got frustrated the whole game. We stayed together, kept giving each other reminders, telling us what to do and what not to do, keeping high hopes. And when the third quarter came and we started upping the pressure, we felt it, and we just kept rolling with it.
Picking up on what Vince said, how we kept our composure. Like, even though we came out over, not hitting no jump shots, no threes, we stayed our head down and kept grinding on defense. Even though we weren't getting no calls, we was still going right at it. So that was the big thing about our team last year, that we never gave up. Even though when we was down, we still knew that they was going to break and we was going to come back.
Coach, you now have the gym named after you, the new gym named after you. Sorry, the court is named after you. You're one of the legends in the state, right? What advice would you give to a young coach that might just be starting? Maybe Coach Lennox from Whitehall. It's his first year as a head coach. What advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say have the mentality that Coach Lennox. When I sat here and I listened to him, I said, boy, he sounds just like me when I first started. And so, and I said, I think he's going to have a bright future because he's got it figured out. First thing is that it's more than on the court. The kids got to know that we're high school coaches, and we're a big part of their transition from being a child to a man. And the biggest thing that we can do is get them prepared for the next stage of life. So that's the most important thing. And when kids know that you care about their future and you care, and you know, we spend a lot of time talking to them about what they want to do next. We spend a lot of time, you know, some of them may not want to go to college. Everybody that plays high school basketball is not going to go play college basketball. But their future is just as important as the guy that's All-American. And those guys are great role players on your team, and you got to need. We had a guy last year that's on the academic scholarship at LSU, Deuce, we call him Deuce, Miley McDaniel. great role player. If he played 25 minutes one night, he was great. If he played 5 minutes one night, he was just as happy. It's because but when he came in, he had an impact on a lot of games. So every player's future is important. And I think when you pour into them, they give you the best. And forming like family, family fights. You'll fight tougher for your family than you will for another guy. And so that's why we share things like that, and I think that translates on the court. And pushing them every day and getting them, like I said, getting them used for tough situations. Because if you're going to win a championship, you're going to be in tough situations, and there's always going to be along the way one game that you go, whew, man, I'm glad we made it out of that one.
Sprint, you committed to A-State recently. There's a new coach. No one really knows much about him in the state of Arkansas. How do you see yourself fitting into that system, and what were some things that made you choose A-State with a new coach that no one really knows much about?
When they first contacted me and got into contact, they told me what it was from the jump. They told me that they're not going to sugarcoat anything. They just keep it real. And the offense, they play really fast, and they kind of simulate what we do here at Mills. That's why we want to play fast. We want to get up and down, and I really love how he plays. I did some research on him, and when I went down there for an official visit, we had talked about my player development and how can I help the team, and everything that he talked about is kind of like the same thing that I do here. So that's like the role I have now here on my high school team. I be just doing the same thing over there, kind of.
This is directed to all four of the players, and we can start down here with you, but I'm going to piggyback off what Coach Coop was just talking about, right? He's talking about instilling this culture at Mills that's not just basketball, but becoming leaders once you get out of basketball. And there's a unique culture at Mills. Not every place you go do you hear about players sweeping the floors and doing the laundry and being on a team to where you could have 6 or 7, 8 different guys be the leading scorer one night and not having one guy putting up all the buckets. I'd like to hear from all four of you guys about how you've bought into this system and to this culture, knowing that it's going to get you, it might not be the best individually for you at the time, but knowing it's the best for the team moving forward.
For us, this group and last year's group, it was pretty easy for us to buy in because we really did love each other. We spent every day with each other. Like, we're real deal brothers, and it's nothing to just buy in. Now, don't want to buy in, that's a different story. Then you're not really about brotherhood, and that's one thing that we preach around here is brotherhood, brotherhood, brotherhood.
Well, the first thing is, if you're not bought in, you can't play here. And we figure it out very fast if you bought in or not. So everybody that's around us is on the same type of time, and they got the same mentality as all of us. We keep around us what we want, which is the brotherhood and the mentality of getting to our goal and where we want to be. And so we all bought in because we know if we trust each other, trust Coop, and trust the process, we'll get where we want to be. And it'll take us even after basketball, whatever we get into, whether it's work, business, basketball, whatever it is, we could carry what we learned here at Mills to our everyday life afterwards. And that's the main goal. So everybody around us is brought in, and we believe in what we're going to do.
Piggyback off what they said, we just stick together as one. Like, we all had to go through the fire together last year, and this year we all got to go through a fire together, but it helped us become brothers because we got to go through it together, so we know that we're doing it for something. Even if we don't understand now, we'll understand it later. So.
So, like, us coming together as brotherhoods, that's come with, like, us coming after practices, us sitting in the locker room talking about the bad practices we had, the mistakes we done made. That's what helped us come together and become the brotherhood and become a strong, unique team that we is. And that come with Coop too. Coop actually make us. It's not that, not every team come in willing and balled in, but like he's like the extra. He give us a little boost to help us get balled in.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
So listen, guys, I know you're coming off that championship run, and some of you guys are looking to be the hunter, right? But now it's a lot people have, they say that you have a target on your back, so to speak. So how do you balance that, you know, or how do you stay motivated? What's that team that's going to get you motivated, or what team are you looking forward to playing this year?
Like I said last year, the team that's in the championship game. 100%. Like, ain't nobody just circled. Like, you ain't special. You know what I'm saying? Who is you? Championship game.
Right on. Coach, let's talk about some of the guys that's not up here on the panel that you want to shed some light on that's going to contribute this year.
I want to say something about that too. You know, we tell them when you win the championship, and I say one of the dumbest phrases I think in sports that, you know, that's gone for a while is defending the champion. You can't defend the championship. What are you going to do? Stand in front of the trophy and guard it and hope nobody goes in there and get it? That's done. That's last year. That's over with. Most of the time, people can't even remember what happened last year. So you really go right back to ground zero every single year. If it's back to nothing, you got nothing. There's a trophy somewhere this year that somebody's going to get, and either you're chasing it or you're not. Like one of the guys here, AJ McCrae, Antoine, it's got a big pickup. He has been just come in, fit right in with this, you know, hard-nosed player, you know, just perfect guy for our culture. You know, he just like he's been here the whole time. And you know, we got a few younger guys that are gonna have to I'm staying on these guys about getting those guys ready, because we're gonna have to throw a couple sophomores in the fray, and right now they're struggling a little bit with the energy and the requirements that we have of them. We're hoping that a couple of those younger guys, those sophomore guys, will come up. Caden Drew is one of them that's, you know, we're looking at him to help us a little bit. And so we're hoping that he will come through. Trey Rhodes, who is big because Zaylen Rowland did so much for us last year. I knew that these guys weren't mentally ready, and I put a lot of pressure on him to be, okay, you lead this team. And, you know, it was a lot of tough days, like there's a lot of pressure, because our point guards, like the quarterback, you got to know everybody's position. If somebody's wrong, you're wrong. And so that was big. So we're looking for that production. You know, some guys like MC and Trey, you know, MC helping Trey to come out along in the system to step up and fill that void.
Coach, man, we appreciate you all coming down, giving us the opportunity to interview. One last thing, for all the Mills fans and Mills Nation that's watching, you have one last message for them?
Yeah, come on out. We got a new arena. And so we want all the Comet Nation to show up this year and pack the place for the first game, and just have a great night that night.
Y'all heard it here first. Come on out, support your Comets. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Okay, up next, we have the Little Rock Christian Warriors with head coach Tyler Wayman leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. Appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you coming out. Coach, introduce yourself. Tell us who you brought with you.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Tyler Wayman. Starting my second year here at Little Rock Christian as the head coach. Brought with us senior J.J. Andrews, senior Justice Moore, senior Easton Boggs, and senior Caden Nelson. You know, we're these four guys are up here, but we've also got 9 seniors on our team, so we're very senior heavy, and it could have been any of them up here. We're led by all of them.
So, Coach, talk about some of the things that you expect out of this team this year, and where you at right now.
Yeah, like I said, you know, we being led by so many seniors is a blessing. Last year, teaching these guys the concepts, the scheme, everything we wanted to do, it was in preparation for this year. You knew that whatever we could succeed in last year was great, but we wanted to lay this foundation knowing we had so many seniors this year. So I've been so proud of these guys. You know, they came in every day this year so far, wanting to practice and compete. One of the big things we talked about in the off season going into this year was practice has to be better. A lot of times last year, we were afraid to necessarily compete as hard as we should, whether it was we didn't want to make a friend mad or we didn't want to do whatever. You know, we didn't really have that fire every day like we needed to win at the highest level, like you saw from championship teams. And one of the things these guys have really taken on this year, and it starts with these 4, is every day is a competitive day in practice. There's a winner and loser in every drill we do. They're going at each other, they're pushing each other, and it stays on the floor because it's what's going to make us better. So we're not where we want to be yet, but we're getting close. And I'm excited about this year being able to start off a lot further along than we started off last year.
Coach, I know everybody, you know, looking at Little Rock Christian, have a target on your back, so to speak. And JJ, you're one of those guys that everybody is looking to go up against. Talk about the pressures of, you know, being the one that has that target on them all the time, you know, and plus dealing with it and along with your team, you know, having your back. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to focus on it so much. I just worry about the game plan and what coach has for us. I mean, they're going to bring what they're going to bring. It's just all a part of watching film, doing what's necessary to help my team and help us have the best success. So I'm not necessarily worried about the target on my back per se, but I say that I worry about my team more so. So like, yeah, it's not really any pressure for that.
I got one more for JJ. It's kind of a two-parter. Most people of your status would, last year you have a new coach come in, most people would have left. You know, they would have gone to a prep, they would have chased, you know, a different school for whatever reason and stuff. But you stuck it out. It obviously worked out for you, obviously very well. What are some things you would, or let me back up. How much more rewarding is it that you did stick it out and it worked out so well? And what would you tell someone that might be close to maybe your status that's thinking about going to a prep but leaving or whatnot?
Yeah, I think it just came down to like the success we already had being here. Like I feel like I already got what I needed. You know, I didn't feel like it was a necessary move to leave. I already committed to Arkansas during the summer, so I thought it was best to just stay home, stay close with my brothers, my coaches, and yeah, I mean, we, you know, 2 championships. I mean, that's in the past though, but I just felt more comfortable being here with my teammates and my family as well, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to move.
Okay, so this is to the guys that I see some new faces, Justice Moore, Easton Box. Talk about how coming into this program, you know, picking up from last year into this team. Talk about the differences and how it is the camaraderie along with the other guys.
Yeah, it's been really great. It's been Coach Wayman's taken us in, and we've been like family from the start. You know, we get coming out with these guys competing every day. It's been really special. I think we got a really special team. We got so many components, so many parts. We're super deep. You know, we got 6 ton of guys off the bench that are really talented, and really it's been a super easy transition, just going straight into it, and really been no thought and just looking forward to the season.
For me personally, it's been going very well, building new relationships, and I've just been trying to come in and add to the program as I can and impact winning.
Yeah, and I'll add on to that with these guys in particular, and then also guys like Caden and JJ and the rest of our guys balling in together. It'd be very easy for new guys to step in and want to come in and try to take things over, or the returners wanting to shut them out. But I will give these guys a lot of credit, and especially Caden and JJ as kind of leaders returning, that they welcomed them open arms. They knew what these guys fit for us culturally, and they also knew what they brought on the court. And I think credit to Easton and Justice of whatever you need me to do. Like, we're here, we want to be a part of this place. Whatever you need us to do, we want to win. That's ultimately everyone's goal.
Coach, you mentioned you had 9 seniors, which is crazy, right? That's you don't hardly hear about that. Then Easton was just talking about how you guys are really deep. What are some of the other guys we're going to be hearing from and you're going to be leaning on that you didn't bring, couldn't bring here today?
Absolutely. So, first with these guys, obviously, like I said, we know what JJ, Justice, Easton, these guys are doing. I think you're going to see a big growth from Caden, especially on our team this year. He's one of the best defenders, if not the best defender we have on our team. He's going to take on that challenge every game. And so he's looking to have a huge senior year in that regard. Guys that didn't come here today, his brother Caleb, another guy that was a guy off our bench last year that's looking to give more production this year in his role. Really good shooter, 6'4" athlete that can do a lot of different things. Noah Osborne's a guy we didn't bring that can really shoot the cover off the ball. Malachi Morris was our big man that we had last year that's really developed his game into being able to shoot more perimeter shots. As we're looking to, talked about having 9 seniors and a lot of depth, we got to play faster. That's the way we're going to get a lot of guys on the floor, is we got to play fast and we got to play up tempo. And so to do that, you got to have a lot of different guys that are very skilled. And so a lot of those guys have really worked on their game. And then we get Tristan Watson and Man Pickens from football whenever they get over there, and they bring a level of physicality and toughness to our team that just continues to skyrocket us. So it's a great thing to have so many seniors. The tricky part is also developing those underclassmen. So we've got some really good juniors that are pushing these guys in practice, and that'll get some minutes as the year goes. Carter Dowens, DJ Robinson, DJ Young, all very talented juniors that have to find a way to push these guys, capitalize on their minutes in the game, and then be ready when they're seniors as well.
Coach, this group you has, it seems pretty talented, so I'm pretty sure that you got that non-conference schedule beefed up. So let's talk about that non-conference schedule and how it's important for your team to get those early looks.
Absolutely. I heard Coach A from Bryant talk about yesterday how when you're scheduling, especially with a talented team, you want to do what your team wants. If they want to go play the best, you want to go play the best, and when you're scheduling. And so I feel like we've done that. Last year's non-conference schedule, of the 14 teams we played in non-conference, all 14 teams made their state tournament in the states they came from. Wow. 6 of those 14 played in state championship games. So to say you're going to play the best, that's proving that you're playing the best. And it's no different this year. Same thing. We're going to open up in the showcase at our place with North Little Rock. And then we play Benton, turn around, rematch of the state tournament, team that won the state championship. We're going to go up to Fayetteville and play in Hoopin' on the Hill. We're going to play at the X&A Showcase in Bentonville. We're going to Memphis to play in Nike Hoop Fest. We're playing at the FedEx Forum in Memphis for the Grizzlies Martin Luther King event. So we're playing Bryant. We're going and seeking out these games because ultimately it's a matchup for these guys to showcase what they can do against the best talent, but it's also to prepare you for March. I thought there was a lot of games that we won late in the year because we had been tested. We believed that in those moments we could win. And that's ultimately what it is. You want your guys to walk into a gym in any scenario, in any moment, and believe they can win. And so I think the best case in point in that, and it's a game we ultimately lost, but we were down 30 to Maumelle at 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And we had a shot to win it at the buzzer, ultimately at the end. I mean, you don't rally back with 11 minutes left in the game from down 30 with the shot to win if these guys don't believe. Right? It's not, at that point, it's no longer coaching. Coaching's probably what got us down 30 to begin with. At that point, it's the players that have to respond. And to their credit, they did. And so I think that belief comes from playing those tough games. You know, they can look at each other and go, hey, we've been here before. We've seen this. We can do this. And that's what they did. And one thing I really appreciate about this group and these four individually especially is a lot of times before I have to make an adjustment, they make it for me. So they'll go to each other. They'll push each other. They'll go in that locker room, and they can really make that adjustment or tough conversation before I even do. And so as a coach, that's what you want to see.
So, JJ, I know last year you saw a lot of doubles, saw a lot of triples, and it was crazy. So this year you kind of got some relief on the way. So talk about just being able to have that relief coming on your way and just the mindset you're putting on towards the rest of these guys, letting them know about that.
Oh yeah, I'm trusting my teammates more and more every day. I mean, it's really like you said, it's a lot of those teams. They're going to be game planning and double teaming, triple teaming, sending traps, whatever. So it's all about making the right read, and I'm always looking to make the right play. I'm willing to do whatever to help my team win. So trusting my teammates, knowing they can knock down shots, knowing they can make plays for themselves and others. I mean, I feel like we got the best chance in the world. So really just putting all my trust in them.
So Justice, coming to being that guard that's being underrated, overlooked. Talk about the chip on your shoulder that you have this year, and how you plan on implementing your skill set in this team today.
Yeah, I am definitely coming with a chip on my shoulder, and I feel like my skill set and the way I play the game fits perfectly into this program and the culture. So I'm just doing everything I can, playing as hard as I can, not just to get noticed, but to just be the best version of me that I can.
So to the rest of the players, talk about just how the things you've been doing over the off season to help bring your skill set up to par to where you feel like you can make this team better.
You got it, kid.
Just working out every day, just working in the game. I mean, I make 300 shots plus a day, and just working in the game. That's it.
Yeah, I'd say right along with what he said. Just put your head down and keep working. At the end of the day, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you just keep working and just put your head down and know that everything's going to work out in the end. And trust your team, and hopefully we'll do great things.
And to piggyback on both those guys, one of the things that I think gets overlooked a lot is all of these guys coming into this year, whether it was from the school they were at or currently, all have college offers. They all have been on recruiting events. They've all had those things. And so it'd be very easy to come in and I'm just going to try to do my own thing and do that and use it for this. But for the culture of not only our school but our program, these guys have fit in great. Both Caden and JJ already were established within our school and all the culture things that Little Rock Christian is about. Then you add a guy like Justice and Easton. Easton's part of our worship team at our school for chapel. Been Ivy League recruitment, all those things that comes along with that. Justice 4.0 student, been at Little Rock Christian before, understands the culture that just goes along with not only our basketball program but our school. And then they were able just to slide in seamlessly with that.
JJ, recruiting process is over. You made a lot of people around the state happy. What advice, though, would you have for younger players that are coming up that are going to go through that process? What advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I'd say first, honestly, ask a lot of questions. I feel like that's one of the best things you can do because you don't want to be like going into the unknown, not knowing anything, not knowing what the day-to-day process is like, knowing what kind of opportunity you're going to get at a university or who you're going to be around every day because you're going to be around those players in practice every day and in school as well. So, I mean, just honestly looking at every little detail as well. There's going to be, that's their job to be salesmen and get you to their college. So just looking at the little details, understanding what you're getting into and going where you got the best opportunity.
Coach, I know we're about to wrap it up. Last question. So, Little Rock Christian is one of those story programs. They have a football, basketball. So talk about just keeping that keeping that, that mantra going for the program. And also at the end of that, I know the matchup showcase will be held there this year. Talk about just being able to have that and everything together there.
Yeah, absolutely. Our school is one of a kind. There's not many places that I've been around, even when I was coaching at the college level, that I would walk into a school and recruit at that has the complete package of our school. These guys are getting poured into spiritually, emotionally, academically, athletically, everything you can imagine. And so that attracts great people, and I think you've seen all the programs at our school be successful. That comes from coaches and the players that they have. Football has won a state championship. Girls and boys basketball have won state championships. Baseball has won a state championship. Our golf team just went back-to-back state championships. Our tennis team just won a state championship. Our girls soccer team last year won a state championship. And so I think what comes along with that is just the excellence piece of everything you do. We want to carry ourselves with humility and hold ourselves accountable for all our actions. And I think when you do that, you are able to elevate everything you're around. And that starts at the top with our head of school, Dr. Smith, our athletic director, Coach Johnny Watson, and then every coach is on the staff that have the same mission and goal. And so for our program, right, there's pressure, but that's a good thing. It's like Dex said yesterday with Ben, that pressure's good. If you don't have pressure, it means you're not expected to do anything. And so we talk about that all the time. You don't run away from pressure. You don't run away from that bullseye. You just have to work that much harder. And I'm excited to have the showcase. I appreciate you guys being willing to come to our school and doing it. I think it's going to be an unbelievable weekend, not only for basketball, but for Little Rock Christian as a whole. We'll have that first games Thursday night. Our football team's hopefully hosting a playoff game that Friday night, and then all day Saturday. So it's just going to be a great celebration of sports and Little Rock Christian as a whole. And so I'm appreciative to you guys and every team that's willing to come and play in it at our place. So I'm excited, and I know these guys are as well. Starting off with North Little Rock on that Thursday night, and then playing Benton on Saturday, two of the top teams in the state. So we're excited to see where we're at and then grow from there.
Okay, Coach. Well, that concludes our interview. We appreciate everything. Good luck to you guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Coach Joe Scott and the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Coach Scott, appreciate you guys coming out today. Why don't you just take a brief second, introduce yourself, introduce your guys that you brought along with you, and then just a little bit about each one, if you don't mind.
First off, I'm Joe Scott, head boys basketball coach at Sheridan. We appreciate y'all having us. This is a big deal for the student athletes across the state. You put them put them on the map a little bit as far as schools and communities and programs. So we appreciate y'all having us. The four I brought with me today, we got senior Lane Bickford on my far right over here, returning all-conference player, kind of holds it down in the middle for us. He's about 6'5", 6'6", big, strong player. We look forward to him having another great year. To my right, I got Dawson Griffin, 6'8", power forward, center, kind of interior player that we're trying to stretch out a little bit more every day. We think Griff's about to have a really good year. We look forward for big things from him. To my left, I got Beckett Scott. He's going to run the point guard for us this year. Really good vision, really good passer, incredible shooter. We think he can do really good things with the basketball in his hands for us, possibly even lead the 5A South in assists this year. And then to my far left, I got Jace Gatlin. Jace is just like an instant bucket. He's like a little microwave, instant offense. He can go score with the best of them. He's always challenging everybody to play some ones. So he likes to put the ball in the basket.
Coach, we asked this question to a few coaches, but you're in a tough conference. But I know it's your non-conference schedules. Pretty tough as well. So what goes into your mindset when you're scheduling that non-conference, to get your guys ready for, your conference run and then hopefully regional and state run?
Yeah, it's always a process on scheduling non-cons. And like Coach Pennington said yesterday, the 5A South has produced the last 3 state champions in the 5A. So everyone knows our conference is loaded and how good it is. And just a little tidbit about us, we won 20 games last year. We've won 52 games the last 3 years, and we've only made state once. So that just shows you how tough it is for a team to make the top 4 with 9 teams in our conference. So we're looking forward to that challenge again this year. Now, we're extremely young. We understand that. I think, I was watching Coach Hayes in Hot Springs. They're going to have a really young team as well. But, we're going to play 4 or 5 sophomores with the freshmen, some other seniors and a couple juniors. So we understand that with a young team, we need to go and play on the road. We want to put these guys through the fire and see what we got. So our first 4 games are all on the road. We're going to Russellville. Coach Chenault does a great job with that program. And then we're going to play at the Tip-Off Classic at Rogers Heritage. And then we're going to Sylvan Hills, who has a really talented roster as well. So our first 4 games are going to be really challenging for a young team. So we'll see how we manage. And, we haven't been really struck with a lot of adversity just because we're a new team. We're all coming together. So we're excited about when that first challenge happens, who's going to come together, where we're going to find our leaders, things like that. Because in practices right now, we've had to be a little bit more about installment and teaching and instructing. We haven't got to scrimmage as well or as much as we wanted to. The few scrimmages we have, it can get a little intense. It can get pretty heated. It gets a little spicy. So, we just got to find ways to manage the competitiveness that we have along with instruction.
So to expand on that Coach Scott was just talking about this to all 4 of the players when you start running down here, but he said, you're a really young team, but also at the same time frame, sounds like practices get really heated and intense. So talk about what you guys have done over the summer and then in the fall so far during practice, since you guys are a very young team, to get ready for the season.
We've been practicing a lot and we've been scrimmaging a lot against each other and just building our confidence on the court.
Yeah, just showing up to practice and competing and working every day and just learning to trust our teammates so we can be the best team that we can be.
We really just been going at each other every day, making each other better, whether it's in scrimmages, in little drills. We really just been trying to find out what we can do and just creating chemistry every day.
Mainly being consistent and always working hard to get myself better, but also the team, just because you want to get everyone else better around you too, not just me, but overall just getting ready for the season as well.
We've, and I'll harp on what they said there, like the consistency, we've been looking for a lot of that in practice. Also, Beckett talked about building chemistry. We're a completely new team. We lost 4 starters last year. They're all seniors. Lane's the only returning starter we have. we've went with a lot of different lineups in practice. We're trying to find chemistry. We're trying to find that consistency. You know, the good thing about us is these young kids are very competitive. You know, Jason Beckett go against each other every day in practice. Lane and Dawson go against each other every day in practice. So our non-5v5 drills, we're actually getting to go against guys that you're competing with and you're playing with. So we're trying to develop all that competitiveness and that chemistry through that as well.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions to the players, was to ask which player pushes them the hardest in practice. You know, who's that guy that's going to get up in them every time, you know, the ball is on the floor?
So I'll take that first. That's one thing I've challenged them about. We haven't had a whole lot of upper class leadership that we have in the past. Like I said, last year we had those 4 seniors and they were great leaders. We've been searching for that. I've called out you know, our seniors, and I've challenged these 2 sophomores to my left right here. It's, you know, they're going to have the ball in their hands a lot. They're going to be on the court a lot. So they've kind of taken amongst themselves to kind of push the team, push the older guys. The older guys listen to. And it helps when probably your 2 most competitive players will want to be leaders too. And that's Beckett and Jace right there. That they're ultra competitive. They want to win. They want to do good. And they want the best for the team. So them 2 guys have kind of started stepping up as leaders, and it's a much needed spot on our team.
Coach, considering that this team is young, talk about your coaching philosophy, your coaching style. Do it changes this year, considering that your team is so young?
It's absolutely changed, yeah. And like at Sheridan, we haven't had a whole lot of height in the past, and now we have 6'6" and 6'8". We're going to run a couple double bigs out there, you know, some old school basketball. I feel like we're playing it in a phone booth every once in a while, trying to pound the ball in the interior. But then we have other lineups where we want to go small. We want to press a little bit. So, like I said, we've been trying to use that chemistry on determining how we want to play, how we want to do it, what personnel fits in this spot as well. And, you know, these are the 4 guys that I brought with me, but we got a ton of guys that's going to help. We feel like we can go about 8 or 9 deep. You know, I'm going to talk about each player real quick. The first one I'll talk about is Landon Blank. He is going to be a senior. We're probably not going to get Landon until December, maybe January, because poor kid's had 2 torn ACLs. And he has torn his ACL last summer and then re-tore it again this summer. So he's a 6'3" kind of guard forward that would help us out a lot if we can get him healthy. DJ Trotter, we got him back. He was here in junior high, moved back into this year. DJ's our most athletic guy by far, 4'4" max vert. He can jump max vert and touch 11 feet 6 inches. So incredible athlete for us. We're going to use him in very many different ways. We can play him at guard, we can play him at forward, we can play him in the interior. He's just going to be a guy that we can use like a Swiss Army knife and use a lot of different ways. Wilson Reed's going to be a freshman for us. Wilson had a great summer. You know, when you move up freshmen, you don't really know what they're going to be able to do, 15-year-olds versus 18-year-olds and things like that. But Wilson had a great summer. He's been a really good leader for us as well. Guys like him in practice. He's been handling his game really, really good. Landon Odom, another sophomore, going to be a shooter for us. All right, we're trying to expand his game and take the ball to the rim a little bit more. But Odom's been a great shooter. And then, like I said, we got Griff, and then Ethan Anderton, just got him back from a torn labrum surgery. So once we really get him back in full shape and everything, he's a go-getter, good defender, good scrappy player, can help us out in a lot of ways. So that'll be our most varsity guys that we'll look to build upon and, like I said, find that chemistry.
For each player, describe one word of your mentality coming into this season. Starting here.
Probably consistent still.
I say dog.
Compete.
Toughness.
Now, I'm going to address this to each of the 4 players, but Coach, I'd like for you to follow up after you hear what they, have to say. Sheridan's one of those. We talk about this a lot in football, but Sheridan's one of those close-knit communities, right, where everybody rallies behind. You guys have an overall great athletic department from, boys basketball, girls basketball, baseball, softball, and Coach Kelly's given the football program a shot in the arm. But just talk about that overall community in Sheridan that just rallies behind you guys in all sports and what it means to y'all.
It means a lot to us. It definitely helps out the players when there's a lot of fans there, and it just helps us out a lot.
Yeah, it's just great to always know you're going to have a good crowd and knowing that win or lose, all your coaches and your whole community is going to be behind you.
It's always great to see a bunch of fans in the stands, whether we're home or away, and we've always had a great student section that always brings a lot of hype, helps us create energy, and just helps us play better.
Like you said, play better and mainly motivation. And I think I watched the podcast last year, and I want to go back off of what Coach said. He said everyone's going to know when you play Sheridan, and I think that's going to be one of these years, especially with our lineups and stuff like that.
Well, I mentioned this last year too. We travel really well even on the road. There'll be times where we're on the road and we have just as many fans as the home team does. Sheridan's a unique district because I think we're the 4th or 5th largest acreage district. We're really, really spread out. So therefore it does, kind of make it difficult at times for practice times or this or that, because we might have a kid that lives 25, 30 minutes away from the arena and things like that. But, the community support's awesome. We're going out for the football games right now. You see them, the stands are packed. You go to basketball games and we're packed. Baseball, softball. So the community support in our district is really good. And like these guys are saying, we need that blue crew there. We need that student section to be pumping everybody up.
All right, last question before we let you guys go. We appreciate y'all coming out, but just want to give a shout out to one of my favorite places to eat there. But what's the best burger in town? Where you get it at?
Best burger in town?
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket.
All right. Appreciate y'all coming out.
Thank y'all.
Coach Andy Brakeville and the Sheridan Lady Yellow Jackets. Coach had a really good season last year. Obviously, the 5A is just loaded, absolutely loaded top to bottom in girls basketball. Give us just a brief rundown of last year, and then if you don't mind, introduce the ladies you brought with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having us once again. We appreciate the opportunity, and I know it's great for the kids to be able to come and get introduced and get the exposure. But my name's Andy Brakeville. This is my 20th year of coaching, second at Sheridan. And today I brought 3 of our seniors with us. All 3 of these are starters for the majority of the year last year, played a lot. They had a lot of experience. On my far right, we have 5'10" Mason Wilson. The great thing about Mason is she was our second leading rebounder. She gives us a lot of length. She's an extremely hard worker, comes into practice every day. You know she's going to work hard and has a positive attitude. And she also does a lot of the hard plays in the games that help us win. Right to my immediate right, we have 5'10" Belle Smith. And her ability to shoot the ball is going to allow us to spread the floor more. And I'll just give you some of her ability to score. We go to Lakeside last year. They're 13-0 in conference, and we go on the road. They hadn't been beat yet. Belle goes in there, and she's originally from Lakeside, and she scores 18 that night. So she has an ability to score in waves, and we're looking for more scoring on her end this year. And then on my far left, immediate left, not far left, immediate left, we have Lily Reed. She's a 4-year starter. She passed the 1,000-point barrier last year for us. She was our leading scorer and rebounder. If you looked on a scouting report from other coaches, they would probably say she's a dead three. She's got great range. She has the ability to play inside and out, and she's also a very good rebounder. But just as far as recap of our season, I felt like we spent a lot of early on in the season trying to figure out who our identity was. It was my first year coaching girls, and so we had a new system, trying to figure things out. But once we got it all figured out, we ended up finishing really strong, and our conference is loaded. It was us, Benton, Lake Hamilton all finished tied for second. Due to points, we got the 4 seed, and we go play host Greene County Tech at Greene County Tech, and they were a really good team. But like I said, we finished 19-12, had a great year. 3 of the teams we played during the year all played in the state finals for their respective classifications.
I'm gonna build off that what you were just talking about, Coach. Yeah, you met up with a just great Greene County Tech team, but in 5A it really doesn't matter, right? You're gonna get matched up against Farmington or Mountain Home or Greene County Tech,
Right.
whoever.
Right.
So what did you take into consideration when you were building your non-conference schedule to kind of prepare these girls for that? Because once conference plays, great conference, and then everybody in 5A is good. Well, when
Right.
you get regionals and state.
Yeah, if you make the state tournament in 5A, it's an unbelievable accomplishment. But, like I said, these 3 are returning. We got a lot of new faces that are going to play as well. But, we want them to get tested. We want them to get thrown into the fire before conference hits because, there's several teams in our conference that could finish anywhere from 1 to 4. So, yeah, when we look at the non-con schedule and all that, we're trying to get them ready as much as possible before conference hits.
And this for the players, we can start with you right here, Belle. Your ability to shoot, Lee's ability to shoot is going to spread the floor for some of your teammates. Tell us about those other teammates that maybe even aren't here today that your 2 shooting is going to spread the floor for either their ability to post up in the lane or, dribble drive to get to the rim.
We've got a girl, Ashton. She's pretty good post. I think we're going to try and work in the post with her. We've got Ainsley. She's a pretty good point guard. I think she'll move the ball pretty good to me or Lily, get some shots up, and I think we'll do good.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on what Belle said. We do have, I would say this year we have a little bit more athleticism on our team. So, with her ability to shoot the ball, even Mason can step out and shoot the ball, and Lily can shoot the ball. We're going to have more ability for girls to get to the rim. And I'll talk more about some girls that we have coming. We have 2 seniors that aren't here today, Sadie Krause and Sydney Miller. Great teammates, unbelievable teammates, and they're going to provide some support for us off the bench. We have 2 juniors, Kelsey Rose and Kinley Melton. They had incredible summers and improved tremendously, and we're going to rely on them for energy and toughness and scoring. And then we also moved up 2 ninth graders as well, Addie Gourmet and Ainsley Stevens. Those 2 are just gym rats, and they're going to help us handle the ball and provide some scoring as well. So hopefully the plan is we're hoping to have more depth this year than we did last year. But like I said, all 3 of these girls' ability to shoot the ball is going to open the floor up to get to the lane and do those type things.
This is for all 3 of the players, and Mason, we can start down here with you. Second year with your coach here, and I know first years there's a lot of feeling out, right, between players, between coaches. Now that second year under him, just tell us about what you guys did in the off season, during the summer, team camps, and now fall camp to embrace his structure and then just come together as a team.
I think really it's just with his second year being here, we're trusting him a little bit more, and we're just really understanding what he needs us to do and not just second guess him all the time, because really it is his second year and we had a great first year, so just trusting him throughout that is a big thing.
Let me tell you something about Mason too. She's always honest. So if she needs to, she'll say, Coach, remember, we're girls.
I've said that a lot. I've said, you've coached boys, you need to remember we're girls.
Yeah. So she keeps me in check every now and then.
I would say my first year coming in here, didn't really play much. I wasn't able to play. I was eligible. And my second year was when he came, and I was just trusting his process. It was his first year, and then I got hurt. It was pretty tough, but this year I think it'll be pretty good, and we're just going to trust his process.
Yeah, she struggled last year through some injuries, had some rolled ankles and stuff. So hopefully we can keep her healthy, and that's going to help her in the long run and play with consistency. And like I said before, we're going to lean on both of these two for more scoring this year as well.
I think Mason said it pretty well. Coming in here, it was his first year. We had a lot of new people, move-ins. This year, I think we trust him more, but we also trust each other. So I think our dynamic is just going to be a lot better and different this year.
Lily, your dad does a great job training you and pubbing you out on social media, right? And there's a lot of great that comes with that, but then there's also a lot of cons, right? Every time you step on the court, the opposing coaches and players are yelling, shooter, shooter, shooter. So talk about that, about just, knowing every time you step on the court, everybody's got a target on your back and how you embrace that.
I think it's one of those things you use it the way that you want to. You can let it get to you, or you can use it as a chip on your shoulder. I try to let it be a chip on my shoulder, knowing that people know my skill and just being able to show that and embrace what I'm able to do.
For each player, if you had a college coach watching right now and he's looking to recruit, what type of player would that he or she be getting?
For me, I think it's really just energy. I love, everyone who knows me, they know I have a lot of energy and just hyping each other up, because everyone's going to make mistakes. It's not that big of a deal. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. So just not really downplaying everyone and just picking each other up every time.
I'll go off of what she said. Energy. I feel like I'm very energetic. I try to pick up everyone if they're down, try and cheer everyone on, even if I'm on the bench. And, yeah.
I think for me, they would get a determined player. I love to win, and I try to be a leader. But with that, like I said, I'm very determined, so I will lead the younger players in the direction that I think they need to go.
Coach, what's that one area you have seen so far that you feel like this team is there, but they need this right here? What's that one thing?
Well, I think right now we're just in that mode of preseason grind. We're in the middle of October. We got some girls coming in from volleyball next week that's going to add more life to practice. And they know every day right now we're working closeouts. We're working different deals on defense and breaking down offense. So right now, they're just and they've done a really good job leading the group of girls we have in the gym right now in preseason, because preseason is a grind. And, you get to a point you're ready to play. But once, as long as they continue to keep doing that, and I'll say this for these three and the two seniors we don't have here today, they're really close. And when the girls are really close, it makes it a lot of fun. But, back to what you were saying, once we get everybody in there and we keep improving and getting ready to go, because once they get in here, we got about 2 weeks to go. But they're going to bring some more life to practice next week, and we get everybody in there, and then we'll get going.
So, for me, I always like to look back at things and kind of analyze. What's that one game last year that, you can think about, like, man, I wish I could have did this different, and what have you done to change that trajectory?
I think Lily can start on that one.
I'm not so sure if there's a specific game. I think I definitely look back at certain games and wish I would have done this, or I could have done this, but basketball's an imperfect game, so you just have to live and learn and move from it.
And we always talk about, playing the next play. Don't live in the past. If you make a mistake, you miss a shot, playing the next play. So for us, when we look at playing games, we're looking at each opponent one at a time. And obviously there's some games last year that, we wish we could have go back and do some different things. But like Lily said, sometimes things happen and we got to learn and improve on them. And hopefully this year, with these girls' senior year, we learn from it, and hopefully we'll benefit from that.
Okay, Coach, I know Sheridan Nation, they watching. Obviously, that community is very involved in sports. So give the fans, give the community their speech on what they can see, what can they expect coming into this season.
Right. Coach Scott hit on it too. At Sheridan, the community, on a Friday night, we have a huge arena, unbelievable arena, but it's filled with a lot of fans. So they're very supportive. But hopefully what you're going to see this year is more toughness from us as a whole. We want to be more unpredictable on offense, and we're working on some of those things right now. And our game plan this year, a little bit similar to last year, we're trying to be hard to prepare for. And they'll tell you some of the stuff we do is complex. It's a little difficult at times. But we're hoping, you're not going to play your best basketball at the beginning of the year. We're building for the end. So, but like I said, we're going to try to be tougher. We're going to try to play at a faster pace on offense, and we're going to try to mix things up defensively and keep people off guard as much as possible.
Well, you heard it here first. Coach, thank you for coming down, giving us a chance to interview. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, not really.
Okay, up next we have ESTEM Lady Mets with head coach Vasha Sanders leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good.
Man, good, Coach. Introduce yourself. Introduce who you brought with you.
Okay, so as he just mentioned, I'm Coach Sanders. To my right, I have junior Morgan Thornton and Samaya Magsby. And to my left, I have Precious Powell, senior, and then also senior Treasure McGee.
Coach, with this group here coming this season, talk about some of the goals you have for this team and what's some of your expectations?
Well, so I feel like last season we built or we set or laid our foundation. So my expectation for this season is for us to continue to build from that foundation that we set. And what that looks like is, my first year we won one game. Last year we got up to 19 wins. So, we're looking to grow and get at least 25 wins this year. We qualified for state last year, which was the first time since 2017 for our school. And so we're looking to advance past the first round. And we placed fourth in regionals last year. So we're looking to compete for a regional championship this year.
So to the ladies, considering the growth that, that's been coming along, talk about the mentality and talk about the camaraderie amongst the group and how's that energy been?
I just think that we all play our part, and we all gotta work hard. Like, it started with us. We were the main ones, so we had to make sure our energy was up every game, every practice. Be prepared, do the little things, and just gotta make sure we was focused.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like all of us are leaders on the team, and we all have to show them and prove. We got a lot to prove this season and stuff. Yeah. Where you want me to go?
So we all had, like, it was our first time being with each other, so we didn't have as much team chemistry, so now we have enough to go into forward to the season.
I feel like the energy is high, like everybody looking upon us because ESTEM actually made a name for ourselves last year because with the losing season, like before we all came together, we have made a change and a difference. So everybody like have their eyes on us and expecting. So I feel like it's pretty good. Like the energy is high and we wanted to keep it that way.
Coach, you guys had a great season last year. Ran up some really good competition at the end of the year to finish it off. And then I'm looking at your non-conference schedule that you scheduled. And you're playing Westside Greers Ferry, which was one of the best teams in the state last year, no matter the classification. You've got Riverside, you've got Forest City, you've got Cabot, you've got Greene County Tech, you've got Russellville, you've got Nashville. Do these girls know the gamut that you schedule for them in their non-conference? And what was the mindset to go ahead and play all these loaded teams on the front end to get these girls ready for another run?
Yeah, scheduling those games, one, gives us an idea, or I feel they would help us prepare for the toughest competition. You know, when you get to regionals, when you get to state, it's a different ball game. And if we play tough teams in the preseason, I think it will help prepare us for the competition that we will face when we get to regionals, when we get to state. So the whole purpose of scheduling is to put ourselves in the best position to win games, know what's expected, and just kind of prepare for that competition.
And speaking of preparing, your team, what are some of the other ladies that you're going to be relying on and we're going to hear from that aren't here today? And tell us a little bit about them.
So I have a freshman who shoots the ball really well. Her name is Maya Akins. I think she will be a big help for us this season. Also, we have a junior who transferred in from Maumelle, Alyssa Caldwell, who I think would definitely help us as far as the boards, hustle, because she don't mind doing the dirty work, the little things. Also, we have a little freshman guard, Anala Conley, who also will be able to help us. She's an extra ball handler for us, and I know that's something that we struggled with last year, so she would definitely help us on the guard end as well, getting the ball up the floor.
Coach, what is the identity of this team right now?
That's a good question. So our identity is, one, toughness. We want to be the toughest team out there on the floor. Also, character, professionalism. I'm very big on my girls with how we present ourselves.
Okay, yeah. So, to the ladies, I know a lot of energy being during practice. Who is that one player that pushes the team?
Precious.
Yeah.
Precious.
Okay, and Precious, tell us why you're that person.
I just feel like as a team, like they all look up to me. Like me being one of the best players, me and Morgan. Well, us four are all like the leaders on the court, but they just all kind of look up, and I just feel like me every day, like I should perform to my best ability because I want to show them what it's like to move on to the next level and what you should do to be great.
Coach, what make this team different from last year?
I would say one, how much they improved over the summer. Their confidence is up, which is one thing I love. So they're not afraid to compete. Where there were games last year that we were a little intimidated. So I think that shout out to their AAU coaches because they did do a great job with them this summer, making sure that they develop over the summer. So the mistakes or the weaknesses that we had last year, you won't see that this year.
And speaking of those mistakes, what's that one game last year that you could think about where you could say, man, the team took a turn right here or they declined right here? What's that game?
Ooh, I would have to say the second round when we played Mills. The very first round we had a different mindset and we were ready. But that second time we played them, we played as though we had the game won already. So we didn't mentally prepare with the same focus as we did the first time. So I noticed then, like, okay, we can't get comfortable. We went on a 10-0 run, and that got us real comfortable. And so that was just a reminder, like, hey, every game matters. You got to prepare the same as if, we're not on a 10-0 run. So that was a game changer for us.
And to the girls, talk about that moment. Talk about that time where you got comfortable and how are you doing things differently to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I'm going to say that like she said, we weren't focused. We didn't focus for real. And I just think once we focus and we play together, we come in ready, we're going to be all right.
Yeah. I felt like we started the game off playing because, we beat them last time. Thought it was going to be cool.
Yeah. We had the mentality that we were just going to go and beat them. Like, we already beat them the first time. We had that mentality. But when we actually got in the game, it was a whole different ball game. So, yeah, we just got to be more prepared and have the same mindset.
I felt that if that game left a chip on our shoulder to where we that's a game we're looking forward to because we ended up beating them the first round and the second round they ended up beating us and it was just like, dang, we worked this hard and they came back and beat us. But I feel like every day we're working hard to accomplish beating them again.
But I'm going to just piggyback off that. It's not just beating them. Again, we want to be the toughest team out there. And what I'm looking forward to, wins is a big deal, but our focus is making sure that we improve and that we get better as a program. So, again, we do plan to be tough. And when teams play against us, they're going to know, hey, you're going to have to bring your A game. You're just not going to walk in and just kick our butt. We're going to fight.
What's that thing? What's the best thing about playing with ESTEM, being a Lady Met? What's the best thing about being a Lady Met?
The energy.
Yeah, definitely the energy.
I feel like the team connection. We all have a good connection with each other.
Yeah, the team, the girls, the coaches.
Yeah.
Family, that family net, huh?
Yes, yeah.
So, Coach, let's talk about your style of play. Are you going to play fast? Or are you going to play slow? Or you be more focused on defensive? What is it for this year?
We're always going to be focused on defense. We are a defensive team, and I drill defense more than anything. That's the most important thing that I care about. Last year we did play slow, so we are going to play a lot faster than we did last year as far as pushing the ball up the floor in transition. So we will definitely play a lot faster.
Okay, so this is the last question. This to the girls. If you all had a WNBA player to play one-on-one, who would it be?
Chelsea
Samaya
Gray.
say Angel Reese.
A WNBA.
WNBA, collegiate, it doesn't matter. Which one?
Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea who?
Gray.
Green?
Gray.
Gray?
Chelsea Gray.
Oh.
Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark, yeah.
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? Okay, well, that concludes our interview. We appreciate you all coming out. See you, and
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, we got ESTEM Mets with head coach Monty Patel leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, doing great. Thank you all for coming. Introduce yourself and who you brought with you.
I'm Coach Monty Patel. I've been the head coach at ESTEM for the last 4 years. To my right, I have Kingston Alexander, a senior, Holden Kirk, a junior, Tim Johnson, a senior, Khalil Washington, a senior, coming with us.
Coach, ESTEM had a heck of a run last year. I mean, had a chance to catch you in that amazing upset over Forest City. Talk about the highs and lows of that game and even all the way up to the season, to that moment. Talk about it.
I mean, just to keep things spicy, I wrote a list of names down. Eric, Nigel, Alex, Steve, our media members, all had us losing that game, if I remember correctly. But even Chris and Nick probably were in that too, just for fun. But that game was awesome. It kind of showed back to what we had done before when you played the Nettletons, the Sylvans, Bolognas, where we got down, had to come back. And then we play in a great Clinton game where we get down 15 to come back and take the lead in the fourth quarter to win that game just to get into region or get into the state tournament. You go to Forest City, and I've told our staff the entire time, we're going to win this game. Anyone that asks me, I watched film for a week. I tell these guys, you give me a week to watch film, and we'll win that game. And we were on it. We had everything scouted that we needed to have scouted. We got down quick. I think it was just some nerves from us. Get up 16 at half with Holden's 3, Xavier's dunk, and then we got a little tight towards the end, put it into overtime when it shouldn't have been. And I mean, credit to Forest City coming back on us and putting it into overtime, but we ended up coming out on top. It was a great feeling to quote unquote upset everyone, and I think everyone just had us up, or not upsetting them and losing that game because we don't have a gym and we don't have weights and we don't have all these things that everyone else has, but somehow we pulled out the W.
So different look this year with this squad, same mentality, I'm guessing?
Same mentality. A lot of coaches that we got to play this summer think we're better. I tell these guys they have to earn that right, but I think our locker room is great. I don't think we have any problems and distractions. I think they all have got one goal in mind, and that's to win and win big. I've told them since the places I've gotten to coach previously in my career that the only goal I have is a state title. But again, I keep telling these guys, we're ESTEM. We're not supposed to win. We won 25 games last year. We're not supposed to win when you don't have a gym and you don't have a weight room and you don't have transportation. But we figured out a way to do it. And I think that's credit to our coaching staff and how hard they work these kids. it's a credit to the kids we have and how hard they work every morning. I mean, we get up at 6:45 and start our day, and we don't get home till about 5:30. But again, you got to do a little extra just to get there.
So talk about that, Coach. I know the mentality of this team, and I'm pretty sure they take on the character and the mindset of the coach. Just talk about, where the team is at right now. Are they where you want them right now, or do you see them coming along?
They're coming along. I mean, we've got to practice every day. We don't have football. We don't care about any of that stuff. We get to worry about basketball, so we've been practicing since right after spring break. We've been getting after it, skill developing, just working on individually getting better. We call it you season. It's all about you up until we get to preseason. Then it's about us. But these guys are where I expect them to be. We are an offensive-based team. I mean, even speaking on just last year, we broke the state record on three-pointers made. We made 347. We shot 1,082 on the year. Even on last year's team compared to this year, last year we came in with the team that 58% of the minutes were to kids that never played varsity minutes. And then the other 42 minutes were kids that lost at ESTEM that had been losing with us until we figured out how to win. This year's team's figuring out how to be winners a lot quicker because you bring back experience from the state tournament. And then, you've had some other kids come in and want to be a part of our culture and want to have a chance at, getting to college. So I'm excited about where we are. We start our first game Monday, so we'll find out very, very quickly on where we are offensively, defensively, and mindset.
Monty, you've coached a lot of different stops, whether it be as an assistant in high school, head coach in high school. You got AAU, you have TBT. I'm sure there's more. What are some things you've taken from all the stops and been able to put together at ESTEM?
Good players want to be coached. I think it's awesome when you coach pro and you got incredible pros like Jalen Barford, who played for the Razorbacks, who's yelling at me during a timeout to come coach him and quit worrying about talking to my staff, but to tell him what I see, and they want to be held accountable. And it's something I take back to these guys, that if you really want to be good, you seek it, you crave it. There's no burnout, there's no nothing. You want every bit of smoke your coach gives you to get better and better each and every year. But I think that, and then what we learn and how we learn and teach offensively. I'm a big offensive guy, and you can just learn so much from watching pros and learning from them, that we try to teach them those concepts. I mean, this is the first year in 4 years that I'm going into the first game, and I don't have a single play call in. We're just letting them play, and they know what our concepts are. So I think it's a little less control and learning to let players have freedom, because they'll get better faster.
This question's all for the players. We can start on here with you, King. But, it's to kind of expound on what Coach Patel was talking about, right? ESTEM was created to be an academic school, right? Wasn't created to be built around athletics. You guys don't have a gym. You don't have this. You don't have that. But yet you guys are still here. You didn't transfer off to some bigger school with a nice gym or whatever. Talk about the culture that Coach Patel's building and the winning culture that, really started last year and the year before that. But I'd like to hear from all four of you guys about that.
Yes, sir. Patel has definitely built a family. Our whole team is a family, one met. But we always find a way to get better. Even if we don't got a weight room, a gym, he always finds a way, and we follow him. We put our trust in Patel.
I'd say he teaches us how to respond through adversity, like no matter how hard it gets or like challenges that come, just to push through it, because you got to respond to adversity. And like our chemistry has been really good. Like he's just like teaching us to have like a tight knit group, and it's really good for us.
Yeah, the family part of this team always helps, because we always know we can lean on one another to get the job done. And that just comes with a trust of the work we've been putting in these past few months, and just all the time we spent together with one another. And I feel like that can really show volumes of how big Coach Patel's had an impact in all of our lives so far.
Him building trust with Patel, it's like brought us like be more, not just like on the court, but like more as like grown men. Like, he helps us learn, do a lot of stuff, trust each other. It helps us be one as a team.
I mean, I think it's incredible for these guys. You got 7 seniors on this team this year, and you don't even ask them, and they all go to lunch together. They check out, they go to lunch together every single day. They come back, and then they want to do things together as many times as you can. I think that's special of these guys, because that just shows their character and their willingness to want to be together.
So, Coach, I had a chance to watch at the Big Miller Summer the Big Miller team camp over there at Summerwood Sports, and man, it seemed like the team was clicking pretty well even then. So talk about from then up to now, what type of growth have you seen?
I'm
since
just glad
then?
you got us off the 10 a.m. game. I'm just happy about that in the matchup. No, our guys. I told them we didn't have anything in. We were playing off our skill development, and I literally told those dudes, "Hey, you better come in and be the hardest playing team. If we leave here at any point and someone says that they didn't think our kids played hard, we're gonna have to pay for that when we get back." And we were. We closed out. We boxed out. We fought through. We won a few games, and that was great. He could have lost too. But again, I think it was credit to those guys. They came in with a working mentality, and I think winning cures a lot of problems. People say this all the time. They don't care to win in October, November, December. I do. You ain't seen a bad team ever lose October, November, December, and automatically win the state title January, February. We're just hoping we're playing better by the time we get there. And June, July, I told him it don't mean nothing for us. It didn't get us a plaque. It didn't get us a banner. It didn't get us the gym. We just got to go work on what we got to work on to go make someone do something for us.
So, I always want to know, who is that player in the, in the group that motivates everybody, that pushes everybody? Who's that one player, y'all?
I'm gonna have to go with Kingston.
Yeah, I go with King as well. He's always bringing energy in practice. Anytime our energy slacks off at all, he always makes sure that we pick up the energy and keep the energy up.
Nah, I'd say King too. He's always making sure our energy is there daily.
I would say Holden. We got a couple leaders, but mainly all the seniors, but Holden definitely leads a lot.
Kingston, real quick, they all said you. Why do you think they all said you?
I feel like my energy every day is consistent. Even if I'm having a bad practice, I always keep the energy, always try to bring my teammates up.
And Holden, you're one of the best shooters in the state with debate, whatever. What's your mindset going into games? Y'all set the record for shooting threes and whatnot. What's your mindset going into games?
Like, what do you mean? Just like
You carry one of the titles of one of the best shooters in the state. So how do you hold that? And what's your mindset going into games knowing that?
I don't really think of it. I just shoot. Like,
What he knows and what he's trying to say is he's got the green light from anywhere. Shoot it. Yeah, that's your job. That's what everyone expects you to do. Do your job well. And his mindset is that. And then he knows he's coming out the game as soon as he stops shooting. If you're not going to shoot the ball, then come out. That goes for every player. If you're not going to shoot it, come out the game.
So to the players, considering that run that you made, talk about, the conversation amongst you all about how you're looking to get to that point and push past it. Talk about it.
Really just getting better every day at practice, pushing us. And I don't know, every year we've been a family, one team, all know our roles, so we just follow those roles and play.
I'd say the same thing, just working hard every day and like not slacking at all. Like, and if somebody is slacking, to pick them up every day and just stay like as a family, like he said.
Again, this team I feel like is one of the closest teams I've been on, and I feel that helps tremendously when it comes to getting late in the season, because you can lean on your brother to help pick you up, help make sure you get that rebound. We getting that pass off. We making it stop right here, right now. And I feel like that's very important because we spent so much time together and we built so much trust that we know that we're going to deliver when it's time.
I'd say keep practicing, trusting each other more, because the more we trust each other, the more things we can overcome it together as a team. And, just be there for one another whenever we need each other as brothers.
Coach Patel does a great job getting you guys in front of college coaches, getting college coaches to lay eyes on you. If a college coach is watching now, what type of player would they be getting or would they see on the court? No, to them. Yeah. It's time to sell yourself.
Well, you're getting somebody that's going to be physical. You're getting somebody that's going to be a leader by action. You're getting somebody that's going to do all the little things right, and you're never going to have to worry about off the court.
The coach will be getting somebody that likes to play defense, guard, get his shooters involved, playmate, and just talk about the little things and do everything on the court.
I say the same thing, just like working hard every play, like not slacking off at any plays, and just communicating throughout everything.
I feel like they would be getting a true point guard. I don't really care about scoring, really just pass first, and just a good energy guy.
You know, I think even for our team, you look at our success, and we've lost games for 2 of the last 3 years. You got Justin May, who's playing Division I basketball right now. You got Jackson Yancey, that's getting people calling me about how much is he going to cost to get him to his program. You got Stewie, who set the state three-point record last year at 138 makes, 5th all-time in AAA history, who's getting calls already from Division I's for being 2 semesters into a JUCO. You got Josiah Howard playing NAIA. We've had 9 kids offered since I've been here, and that goes to what kind of culture we're creating. I'm probably a lot different than other high school coaches. I tell these guys, if you want a great high school experience, go somewhere else. If you want to get to college and play basketball, be here, and we'll find you a spot. I've got a task this year finding 7 seniors from here that want to go play college, and I've got 9 guys that play for me in AAU, so I'm going to go find 16 scholarships for 16 players. That's the goal. But if you just want to have a great high school career, there's plenty of other schools that will just want to be happy to have a few players here and there and win a couple games. We want to win big, and these guys want to go college and play. That's why they eat, sleep, and breathe the regimen we've given them.
Coach, and just to piggyback off that, we're looking to host you guys at the matchup showcase, and we're going to have some coaches in the building there as well. So just talk about being able to put them on that platform and just have them at the matchup showcase.
No, it's incredible. You know, we've been wanting to get in, obviously. Rest in peace to Kevin. Again, we had talked about getting in that a long time ago, and I'm glad we finally get to represent him and what he's doing and what y'all are doing for the state. It's going to be awesome. It's a great event going 9 a.m. Thank God we're off the game to 9 p.m. But, I mean, Bentonville West is a tough matchup. I know Coach Lloyd very, very well. We've been talking about that game, just how it'll be fun. So we're excited for the event altogether. There'll be a ton of coaches and there'll be a ton of eyes, but tell our guys you're not doing anything to impress them. You're supposed to be who you are. And as long as you do that and you don't try to put on a show for anyone else, people are going to recognize if you can play or not. Half the time the coaches are already there with a list anyways of guys they want to watch, and you just got to go be special somehow or another, defensively, hustle, whatever it may be, just to give yourself a chance to be seen.
Right on. Well, Mets Nation, Monty Patel, and the ESTEM Mets. Coach, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Shoot more.
Okay, up next we have the Morrilton Devil Dogs with head coach Keith Zachary leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good this morning. How are you?
Doing good. Coach, introduce yourself, who you brought with you.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we want to just thank you guys for doing this, getting the exposure out to across the state for our kids throughout the state. It's great exposure for them. Again, just want to thank everybody involved in this venture. All right, to my left, we have Colin Bunting. To my immediate right, we have Isaiah Templeton. And to my far right, we have Ty Wright.
Coach, seems like every year, Morrilton always be in the mix somehow. And, I'm taking this a testament to your coaching, right? So talk about the mentality that you established over the years for this program.
Man, we just have a blue collar program. We get up every morning down 8, hoping to finish the day up at least 1. And if you can do that every day and just stay consistent, with your approach, which is, it's pretty intense. We know we don't always have the most athletic kids, but we want to have some of the toughest kids, and we want to be able to shoot that basketball, which we do pretty well. We just grind, man. We just, we stay humble in our approach, and we stay hungry with our grind every day.
Coach, you had that championship run, to make it to the championship, rather. Talk about, the ups, the downs, and just the adventure all the way up to that moment.
We started the season out pretty good. We had dropped 4 in a row, but they were 4 quality opponents, and they were games that we could have won. So, Monty alluded to not necessarily wanting to win in November and December, not really worried about it. Of course, you want to win, but we're not worried about winning in November and December. We're worried about seeing what we can patch and what we can fix. We can plug the holes as we go. We had got it going, and then we had the little tragic event with the loss of CJ that put us in a little whirlwind, but it also grew our kids up, and from that point on, they had even a little bit more motivation. We always thought that we were skilled enough and that we were good enough. We weren't quite sure if we were tough enough, but as you can see, we were tough enough to get to that championship game, but we weren't quite tough enough to close it. So that's been one of our key focal points this summer is, just working on our mindset and our mentality and our approach when teams take it up a level. I always tell these guys, there's levels to this thing. There's a reason there's 1A through 6A, 7A basketball. There's levels to it. And for us to have a chance to, to compete and win a state championship, we've got to up our level.
Coach, in my opinion, you have one of the most underrated players in the state sitting next to you. For someone that isn't familiar with his game, how would you describe Isaiah's game to someone that has no idea?
Tough. He can give it to you however you want it. He can post shoot. He's got the midi. He can shoot the 3. His off the bounce game is maturing every day. He's a sleeper in the state for sure. I'm not saying he's a sleeper in the state. I think a lot of people know about him, but sometimes when you're from those small towns, you don't really get that recognition that you need to get. But he's going to just keep showing, improving every day. He's a scorer. He is a collegiate scorer. That's what he is. He can score that basketball at any level, and he's pretty intelligent. He probably leads the team in charges as well as rebounds. He's not just a scorer. The young man can play basketball.
Ty, let's talk about that in that championship game last year. You kind of controlled the game throughout. Talk about your mindset and the way you was as a leader. How would you describe the moment and how you implemented your leadership role to try to, keep the guys at bay?
Really just staying patient with myself and knowing that my job was to just handle the ball and not turn it over and just get the team into our stuff. And I know I was not really focused on scoring, but I also knew my role. I was supposed to contribute a little bit. So later on, I tried to implement a couple, buckets. But early on, my primary focus was just to handle the ball.
So, Isaiah, talk about that moment as well.
Well, my role is to score. Well, not just scoring, but be always a second leader, because Ty's the first leader because he's a point guard. But more so calm everybody down. It's a big moment. Lights are bright. Just calm down, play basketball.
So, to the players, starting with you, how would you describe the off season, the preseason? The mentality and the camaraderie of the team, and what all you have been doing to make sure that you all stay focused on the goal towards the end.
Well, first on the preseason, we go to track, make sure our mental right, try to gain that toughness with each other. Then we flip tires, go to the weight room, then go to the gym. But if you're not tough, you ain't gonna be able to make it through the off season.
Yeah, picking up what Colin said, it's grimy. It's a job, bro. You gotta commit to it. If you ain't gonna commit to it, then you ain't gonna get through. It's more of just waking up every day knowing it's not about the punishment. It feels like punishment, but it's growing your mind, making you stronger.
Really, yeah. A lot of conditioning just to strengthen up what Coach Zach said, just get tougher, finish out that big game we had at the end, and really, just prepare for them tough times.
Coach, what make this team different from last year's team?
Despite the absence of two of our toughest guys in Andrew and CJ, they've matured. The players have definitely gotten better. Is it going to be enough? Only the season will tell. But the guys have gotten better. Their daily approach, because they were right there. They were on the mountaintop and got knocked off. So they know what it feels like to be there. They just don't know how it feels to stay there. And I think they've been hungry for that. I think they've been doing the work diligently and trying to bring along the guys that are going to have to play key roles for us this year, because we're going to have some new guys and some key roles this year. And like I told them, a lot of the teams have, went out and on paper, had some move-ins or whatever and got some players, and they, on paper have gotten better. So for us, we didn't have that luxury this year. So it is what it is. We got who we got, and we're just preparing for that run. And hopefully we can make that run. But a lot of things have to, you know how it is. A lot of things have to fall your way to make those types of runs. But again, we think we're talented enough. We think we have the talent. We think we got the scores. We think, we think like all the other elite teams in the state. But we still got to do the work. And you got to be willing to do the work and know that nobody's going to give you anything. And you're going to be marked on a lot of teams' calendar. They're going to be looking forward to playing you. Yeah.
This is for the players. I don't care which one starts and answers first. But if you think of Morrilton, if someone had no idea about high school basketball in the state of Arkansas, if you thought of Morrilton, you probably wouldn't think high school basketball. But for whatever reason, you have the girls team that's always good. You have the boys team that's always good. What is it about the community at Morrilton that just produces good basketball?
Personally, I would say the coaches. They always put a good mindset into you, encourage you every day. Of course, they're going to criticize you, but it's never personal. It's about business, getting you better. So, yeah, I would probably say the coaches. And also the community as well. They support greatly, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I was going to say community, too. It's a small town, so, everybody know each other. So, we winning. I mean, community's packed out, gyms packed out. They supporting us, especially when CJ passed. It was jumping.
I say the community too, and our coaches, because they all there and won with us. So we really thank you.
What do y'all love the most about being a Devil Dog?
Probably just the relationships. Because me personally, I've been here my whole life, ever since I was born. So I just know a lot of people, and they all know me. So we all got good relationships.
Me personally, I'll go say my family. All my family was graduated from Morrilton. My mom, she won state championship with Shakina Strickland. I don't know if I know who that is, but she played that team. She ended up passing when I was 2, but she's my leader, so I strive to be like her.
I say the same thing. When I moved down here to Morrilton from Conway, everybody done treated me like family.
Do y'all feel any pressure from last year, considering how far y'all went? Do y'all feel like there's a major pressure on your shoulders to get back there? Not only to get back there, but to win it?
I feel like we're expected to be that way, but I don't feel any pressure. I grew to live in it and embrace it, so I'm not really pressured. But I feel like a lot of people expect us to get there, so I'm hoping to live up to their expectations.
Yeah, I know there's pressure, but I don't feel no pressure at all.
It's pressure for sure, but Coach Zach teaches not to feel it. Just play through it.
Considering how life has been and school and basketball, how do you all balance that, So there's a lot of kids that out here, they're in your situation, and some of them don't even experience some of those things. How do you balance that?
Just whenever I need help, I ask. Don't ever be shy to ask when you need help. We got good teachers, and coaches even help with their grades. So anytime you need grades, they'll send you over to study hall or a teacher to get help.
Yeah, also like student before the athlete, so you gotta get your grades right, gotta keep a good high GPA. Just studying. I know us three guys, we are in college classes, so we gotta study. If not, it's college, so they ain't playing no games with you. So
Same thing as they said. We got everybody around us that want to help us, even if we don't feel like we're not doing enough work. People still there to help us.
Coach, will your coaching philosophy still be the same? Will your style be the same this year, or will it change, considering you have a few pieces to fill out?
We just had a kid get injured in football. The enforcer force, and he's probably out for the season. So that definitely probably changes how we play. We've got some guys that we're going to try to get to fill that role, but not really. Our guys are versatile. It may have to move Isaiah a little bit. We know he's going to be a key focal point this year. And then when teams try to focus on him like that, we think we got a couple more guys that are capable scorers, and we'll just use him as a dummy action, especially if we don't helping off of him. We're definitely going to put him in ball screens, which is the stuff that Tony Gay would do for us. He was that guy that when he set a screen, you knew you were going to be open. You just had to make the right decision, once you got open. We're going to do what we do. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. Hopefully we're going to rebound a little bit better than we did last year, especially in the clutch. And we're going to make teams have to guard our actions.
Okay, Coach, we're getting down to the final deal. I just want to ask each player, if you had a chance to play an NBA player one-on-one, who would it be?
Do not say.
Start with you, Ty.
I don't know. Probably Kyrie. I wouldn't say I would beat him, but I just want to see like in person how he like actually dribbles, because you see it on TV, but like in person I feel like it would be so much different.
Yeah.
I think I'll score on him though. I don't think I'd win, but yeah.
What about you, Isaiah?
I don't know. Nas Reed. I want to see if he actually to be that big and be that shifty. I want to see it in person.
I want Steph Curry.
Steph.
I want Steph. The way he be shooting that pill, I'm trying to see if I can cut that water off.
Okay. Well, Coach, man, Devil Dog Nation is watching. Let them know what to expect and what your team is going to bring to them for the season.
We're always going to play hard defense. We're going to pick you up 94 feet, try to tire you out. We're going to always think our conditions will give us the chance to win in the fourth quarter. So if you're not in shape, teams, you better get in shape, because we have been on that track, and these guys have. This has probably been the best group as a group as far as conditioning wise. I think they're in peak shape right now. Now we got to get some basketball time and the rhythm down. We're just going to try to bring a quality product to the floor every night. We think we're fun and exciting to watch. So we're going to try to bring that product to the floor and just play hard and represent for the city.
There you go, right. Devil Dog Nation. Right. Thanks, Coach.
Right. Yes, sir. Thank you, and thank you, Lord.
right, we're back with Coach Jason Smith and the Greene County Tech Lady Eagles. My alma mater, the Greene County Tech Eagles. Coach Smith, if you don't mind, give a brief introduction of yourself and then introduce the ladies that you brought and tell us a little bit about each one of them.
Yeah, well, first off, I've been there 4 years, and I'm still looking for that Chris Boyd statue somewhere around the school. I hadn't found it, but I'm sure it's there.
They
No.
must have lost it when they built the new school.
Right. Jason Smith, it's my 4th year at Greene County Tech, 28th year overall. Beard and hair's getting a little bit grayer. A lot because of these kids I brought. But to my left, junior Kinsley Patterson and junior Addie Ryan. And then over here to the right is senior Sophia Gonzalez and senior Amaria Johnson.
Coach came up just short, versus Farmington last year. 5A is always loaded. It's going to be loaded again. Your conference is tough. Talk about when you schedule your non-conference games, because I was taking a look at that schedule. How do you schedule teams and how do you look at them to get your girls ready for not just December or January, but making that run in the regional and state?
Absolutely. It's funny. I've listened the past couple of days, and everybody stands up here and says they want to schedule the toughest schedule or they want to, get teams prepared. And, we make sure that we try to go statewide and play, some of the best of the best. But also, especially in girls basketball, I've always felt like there's a fine line there. I mean, it depends on your team. And I think strength of schedule is relative to where you're at. But if you get 8 or 9 just games that just absolutely gut your team, then you may not be able to recover from that. So we always try to sprinkle, really, really good competition, playing up or playing out of state with some traditional rivals, because I think a lot of time what gets lost is that it's a game and it's supposed to be fun. And we want to play in front of crowds. We want to play in big games that the girls are excited about playing, and so we try to do that as much as we can. And then our conference tends to get us ready, for early March and the state tournament. Because if you make it out of our league, more often than not, you got a shot to play in Hot Springs.
And Coach, the girls basketball at Greene County Tech's always been good. It's not a year-to-year thing. You lost a great senior class. You had a lot of great leaders, had a lot of production. Who's stepping up for you, not just as a production role, but as a leadership role, since you did lose that amazing class?
Yeah, we lost 8 kids who left their blood, sweat, and tears, with the program. But it's a great question, because I'm challenging these kids, especially these 2 over here to the right, every single day. To get out of their comfort zone. We also have Presley Carpenter with us, who's a senior. She's not up here, but she's right over here to our right. And these are our 3 seniors, and we're asking a lot of them. They're not naturally vocal leaders, but they're growing into those roles. And, and I have no doubt their teammates look up to them, and especially the young kids. And so I think it's going to be, kind of a work in progress with that. But it's going to be a key. It's going to be a key to our success this year for these 3 to, to kind of step up and not just be a key cog in the wheel, but to be a leader.
Mario, we talked about the coach was just talking about the experience coming back from last year, and then you came in at the beginning of last year, and at the beginning of the season, we're like, who is this double machine that we're not really familiar with? And we all keep talking amongst each other. I end up asking Coach Smith, tell me about this kid. So when you came in from Missouri, I know you were just 20 minutes down the road or whatever, but did you kind of understand hey, I could really be a solid piece here, especially in the post?
Yes, after I got there, I was like, oh, I don't know how it's going to turn out. But then I got the hang of how they're playing and how their game. So after that, I just got the hang of it and just played how I usually play.
All right, I'm going to come back right back to you. And this is for all of y'all, but we want to start down here. I was at the 5A state tournament that y'all hosted. It felt like every day there was school buses of people parking up the road, and they were bringing them down the street to y'all's game. It was packed out every game. What does it mean to y'all to play in such a big crowd and have such community support?
That's just love. It's love. I appreciate everybody that came out and showed us love. I really do.
I feel like it's just like we have such a big community that always like goes with us, whether it's at home or 2 hours down the road. Like especially like the seniors' parents last year, like they were always traveling with us, and it's just so cool to see the community that we have as a team.
I kind of feel like the same way. The community last year in the state tournament was like one of the best things of playing the whole tournament.
I agree with them.
Yeah, just to to kind of stretch that out a little bit, the city of Paragould and especially the community of Greene County Tech, it's a basketball community. I mean, it has been for as many years as the school's been around, and they love their basketball. These girls have become local celebrities almost. All 5 of them that I've brought, they can't go out to eat or go to Walmart without somebody asking them how the season's going or how they're looking in practice and stuff. And so, but going back to the state tournament, goodness gracious, it was, packed house every night. But that night that we played BB in the quarterfinals, we had to invite the fire marshal literally for a 3,000 seat arena, and it was, just second half, it was deafening in there. It's just like Addie said, it's just moments you'll never forget.
So let's talk about the state. Talk about that moment and talk about how it has shaped your mentality coming into this season, and give us a take on how everything was going back then.
It was going through my head. Like I was nervous at first, but then once I got down there and the tip off went off, nothing I can do. But it was a pretty packed house, and that was the first time I ever played in front of that many people, and I was just blessed to do that.
Yeah, we were so lucky to make it all the way, but we worked really hard, and definitely obviously we came short just a little bit, but it's definitely personal this year. So I feel like this year we're a lot more prepared, and we know that feeling. Most of us do. So I'm just excited to see what happens.
I feel like it definitely shaped us to see in the state championship, it helped us see what it's like, and so now we have a good grip of what it's like.
I wasn't a part of the state, a part of the team, but watching them, I could tell that there was a big difference between a regular game, state tournament, but the state finals was way bigger, so I could tell that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the practices, Coach had the practices pretty intense. So talk about, the practices, the camaraderie. Who's that player that pushes everybody? Who's that person that's always, in the mix?
I feel like everybody pushes each other to go hard every day in practice. So, I don't think there's one specific person.
Yeah, it's like what E said. I feel like we all hold each other accountable for everything we do. We're always on each other's tails. It's a very competitive practice every single day. It's no friendly stuff. It's we get there and we get work done.
We've been mad at each other this week.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact. But no, I'll shout out to a kid who's not here because I've been really impressed, and that's junior Allie Smith. She's just, for one, she's grown and found her voice so much going into her junior year, but she's such an encourager, and she's an encourager 1 through 18, and she's just that, she's a glue kid, and I've been really impressed with Allie.
Well, I definitely feel like KP gets out of that practice, but I think that we're all pretty competitive and we all get out after each other.
Everybody does, try to help each other, but I definitely feel like Allie Smith, even if the gym is dead, she's always going to be the one that's, hey, come on, y'all. She's always motivating us, so I would definitely say Allie.
Coach, I don't remember the holiday. This was a little while back, but I was scrolling through Twitter. I think it was 4th of July. I don't remember. Maybe more Memorial Day. I don't know. You tweeted and you said it's 10 a.m. on a holiday. These girls want to get in the gym. It was something to that effect. I don't remember what it was. What does it mean to you to see that these girls want it that bad, to be that good and to maybe get back to the state finals? What does that mean to you?
Well, it's just, it's rewarding because, I guess this is, I've had a lot of teams, and this group that individually, they work so hard, and, I feel like that we've built or tried to build, just collectively, a program of moments, and just the fact that there's so much more than just that final game or the destination. I think the journey is the destination, but more so, I think the people that are on that journey just make it, and that's what I really enjoy, is just watching these kids grow as people, and then just watching them experience so many moments throughout 365 days, because it's not easy to play for me. It's not easy to play in this program, but they come and they ring that bell every day and go to work.
This question is directed to all four of the players, and we can start down here with you, E. So first off, congratulations on your commitment.
Thank you.
Great job. What's that one game that you guys are ready to get back on the court to? It might be a game that slipped away from you that you thought you should have won. It may be a particular team that was just fun to play against. Maybe you know a lot of girls on it, but what's that one game that you guys are ready to get back on the court for?
I think we slipped up at state, so I would say Farmington again.
Yeah, I feel like matching up with them again, like that's definitely going to be a good game, and I'm excited for that. But I feel like this year, if we just really lock in, we can do it.
I don't have a particular team. I'm just taking it one by one.
Obviously, I wasn't here last year, so I'm going for the people that put us out of the state, so Mount Home.
Coach, I've been in Jonesboro for about 6 months now, and the more I've talked to you and everyone else around Jonesboro, the more I find out that you know Northeast Arkansas.
Well, I'm old, Nick, so.
So you've been around it for a while.
Yeah.
What is it about Northeast Arkansas that produces such good basketball talent? Maybe not even necessarily on the girls' side, the boys' side, just in general, just the basketball up there. It's just feels rich. What do you think?
Well, and it's funny because I really enjoy high school football, but Northeast Arkansas, it's a basketball corner of the state, and whether you're at 6A Jonesboro or 5A Tech, 4A Brooklyn, 3A, just on down the line, you got the Riversides, BICs, Manilas of the world that just, they live and breathe it, and just for example, at Greene County Tech, if we're playing at home, there's an older gentleman who's going to be there, and he's going to go find his seat at 4 o'clock every day. It doesn't matter if we're playing and there may be just a non-conference game, not a big deal, but they love their basketball. Basketball is just part of their DNA and their identity, and it's just Northeast Arkansas. I know yesterday there's a boys coach that said that the Mecca is in Little Rock, but I tell you what, Northeast Arkansas on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday during the wintertime is pretty special.
Myra, I know you committed already, but for the coaches that's watching this broadcast and they're looking to recruit the rest of you all, talk about what type of player the coach will be getting. It's your opportunity to say so.
Well, obviously, like my two main roles are definitely just handling the ball and just looking for that one more pass to get that player open. And I feel like for me, like my main thing is defense. Like I'm always going to be the first on the floor or just the main hustler. And I'm going to try this year to be a better leader because we did lose 8 seniors. So I feel like that's something that I'm going to have to work on.
I would definitely say definitely my shooting, and then being a leader, and yeah.
I'd say aggressive on both ends of the ball. If I have to pick you up 94 feet, I will. And I'll attack the rim, but I'm also a good shooter, and I'm good at getting my teammates involved.
Yeah, and just, real quick, Kinsley said it. She is that jack of all trades, do it all type kid. Just extreme toughness. I would stack Addie Ryan up against any kid in the state in a 3-point contest. If it leaves her hands, you just feel like it's going in. And if you watch us play, you just think, oh, if you're rooting against us, you just think, oh, bleep, as soon as she shoots it, because you think it's going in. Sophia is just a warrior, absolutely, one of the top 5 toughest kids I've ever coached. And all 3 of these girls, they're going to play college basketball. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know what level, I don't know where, but whoever gets them is going to get somebody that they're going to call me later and be like, Coach, you were right. Thank you for this kid. And then I mean, goodness gracious, guys, top 5 kid in the state. Tough as they come. Really worked on her game. She's shooting the mess out of it right now. So, you know, maybe I'm giving out a little bit of a scouting report, but you better get a hand up, especially if she's the top of the key. But these 4 plus Presley, I'll go to war with them. I like them, and we're going to have a lot of fun this winter.
Well, there you go, Greene County. Coach just said he got some firepower coming, so be ready. Coach, thank you for coming down. Looking forward to see more of you guys throughout the summer.
Well, let me say this. I appreciate y'all so much. It's awesome. And just the fact, because I didn't know Big Miller like you guys did, but just the fact that y'all are carrying his name on, I mean, that's really special, guys. And I just appreciate y'all's love and recognition of kind of a behind the scenes guy. But again, it's an honor and privilege to come down here, and just, I mean, hats off and everything to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. Yeah. Good luck to you, and see you soon.
Thank you.